Then I just compare those things with his site, the topography of the site, the need of the site, and I try to create something. Always I try to create something which never disturbs the physical contour of the site. I go with the nature.
Of course.
So that is how you see nature. It differs from one plot to another.
Yes.
So definitely the design.
It has a unique value.
It evolves the different design every time.
Yes.
Every sites.
Hello and welcome to Samvad at Jaquar. Today we have a very special guest who is going to talk to us. His name is Pankaj Phukan. This part of country, who doesn't know Pankaj? He has done more than 300 projects.
Yeah, more.
More than 300 projects, which has hospitality projects, some big large stadiums, some IT parks, and he does not need a longer introduction from me. But we are very excited to have an interesting, enriching conversation with him. So, Pankaj, welcome to Samvad.
Thank you.
And we are very happy that you have, on his birthday, he has given us time to talk to us. So, thank you so much. So, you said you have studied in Delhi and you practiced for some time with a senior architect there. And then you were trying your luck that should I go back to Guwahati and should I stay in Delhi, and you were in dilemma. But eventually you came back to Guwahati.
Yeah.
So during that process, what was going around your mind, that why you didn't feel that you belong to Delhi and you somewhere wanted to come back to Guwahati? And what made you take that decision that no, I want to go back to Guwahati?
See, there are many factors which made me to feel like coming back to Guwahati.
Okay.
See, first thing is that my family is from Guwahati.
Okay.
So at end of the day, I wanted to be with my family.
Okay.
It's profession or anything.
Okay.
So family always first. So I believe in that.
Yes.
So in 2000, around 99, 2000, I felt like coming back to Guwahati. I wanted to explore Guwahati. That time, I saw a lot of opportunities over here also. Especially, I'm basically from Upper Assam. It is a place called Duliajan. I was born and brought up over there.
Okay.
It's an oil town.
Okay.
So, that time I could penetrate into some of the works there in Oil India Limited. So, which gave me some confidence that yes, you can come over, you can start your own. That the feeling of that entrepreneurship came to me in my mind right at that moment. So that's why I felt Delhi, I have to face a little bit more struggle than Guwahati.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this is a point which took me to this place
Okay.
rather than in the faster mood.
Yeah. So instead of having more opportunity in Delhi, there was a comfort level in Guwahati. You also wanted to work for your own region, and you also saw a lot of opportunity in Guwahati. That means in last 20 years, you have seen the evolution of New Guwahati. You have seen the change and transit of New Guwahati. And what is the major changes which you see around today? And what was it like when you started? And you said entrepreneurship. So in architecture school, they don't teach you how to be a professional. So I'm asking you two questions at the same time because I don't want to disturb you in between. So what are the things you had to adopt from that young architect student to become a professional architectural practice? So I would like to know about in context to Guwahati.
Yeah. See, if you compare the people of Guwahati with any other metros or the cities of other states of India, so always this development had happened on a later part in northeastern part of the country. So definitely we'll have to accept it. So now, but whatever has developed is the latest development has happened over here.
Okay.
The infrastructure, the development that happened in Delhi, the technology that we've been adopted to bring up those structures in Delhi, now the same structure which is coming up in this part of the country in a now more advanced version of
Okay.
technology.
Okay.
This is happening because we are having better and better technologies regularly.
Okay.
So this is one thing. Next, immediately what I could see is the awareness among the client.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So when I started my career in Guwahati, that was back in 2000. So very lesser people knew about this profession of architecture. And importantly, since at that moment, northeastern part of the country didn't have any architectural institutions.
Oh, okay.
So way back were architects, we all had to come from outside the state. So that means we had to teach the people about architecture.
Okay.
So we have to make them make them aware about the architecture. So that was a hindrance sort of thing for us
Initially. Okay.
because most of the designs were done by civil engineers.
Yes.
They are capable of doing the structural designs.
Hmm.
But the some core part of the architecture that always an architect can only do, which we had to make the people understand about that real factors.
Okay.
That was a challenge. And step by step, when we got matured, even we got matured time to time, so we learned how to convince people. So that was the convincing people, making them aware, making them educated was a challenge, and somehow we could, I feel.
So you had to first, and make an awareness with the client that there is a need of an architect, in spite of having a civil engineer on board, or in spite of having a structural engineer on board, you need an architect because you need to create that flow of spaces and also services and other part of essential part of architecture. And then now you said the clients are aware and they come up, of course, and they have your profile to go back to.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to Pankaj, I would do research and I know what he's capable of. So I'm going with the expectation. So when you have a practice which is like 20 years, 25 years of experience, people come with a lot of expectation. And then we do say that architecture is mother of all art form, but you are not artist. You have to, you have to comprehend the end users. First, keep in mind the end user and the budget and the builder and the expectation and the aspiration of a client. Okay. So as an architect, you have absorbed, learned, and your experience is so wide and vast to create a new design, keeping all this in mind, and also deliver something new all the time. So how do you manage to come up with something which is fresh and belong to only that project and create a unique value out of that project? So how do you manage to do that after so many years?
It's a big question. See, firstly, whenever there's some job, that is new job, that comes to me, first I study the character of the client.
Okay.
That means character means his character of how he is taking architecture. So I have to first check. I check normally whether he is coming to my office just to get a drawing,
Okay.
just to get a job done by an architect,
Okay.
or he is really coming to me.
Oh, okay.
So I accept jobs.
Yes.
Even if it is not coming to a Pankaj Phukan, even if it is coming to an architect, just an architect, I accept a job to run my show,
Yes.
not to run my profession.
Okay.
So once I get to know, yes, he is coming to me because of me,
Yes.
then I put my whole effort into it.
Of course.
So once I put my whole effort into it, I fully study him. I even try to go to his office, his workspaces, his houses, what his likes and dislikes, I study. Then I just compare those things with his site, the topography of the site, the need of the site, and I try to create something, always I try to create something which never disturbs the physical control of the site.
Areva,
I
yes.
go with the nature.
Of course.
So that is how you see nature. It differs from one plot to another.
Yes.
So definitely the design.
It has a unique value.
It evolves the different design every
Yes.
time.
Yes.
Every sites.
So, because I'm an artist, there was a very famous artwork where one artist put a banana on a wall and tape it with a silver tape and said, it's my art. And nobody would fight or argue with that artist. But architecture is always contextual, and it has purpose, and it has and then when architect of senior stature is designing, he has his own, or she has her own philosophy to it, and her own process or his own process to design. So what is your process? If I give you a piece of paper which said this is the size of my plot, and I just give you one brief that I want to create an institutional building here, but it is a blank space for you, and then you would have to design the service, the functionality, the end user, whatever. So what is the process? Can you just take us to the process of from getting the size of the plot, studying the FSI, and ground up the building? What is the process? How you do? See, I don't want to know about, you told about, you already shared that client and client philosophy, clients liking and disliking. I'm talking about your philosophy. I'm not talking about the client aspect of it. I'm talking about Pankaj, because you said very interesting thing that people are coming to my firm, who's an architecture firm. They just want drawing. They just want to get out of the project and earn money out of it. There are people who believe in your philosophy, who have seen your work somewhere before and said, no, we want our project to be designed by Pankaj, and they are coming to you. So Pankaj has his own way of looking at design, his own philosophy, his own virtue, his own strength to deliver that. What is that?
Before doing anything, any sketch work, anything, I first visit the site.
Okay.
Along with the client.
Okay.
Whatever feedback the client has to give, I take the feedback right at the site. I just compare his feedback and feasibility with the site physical physically how the site is behaving, whether his expectations will really match.
No, again, I'm coming back. I'm sorry to interrupt. When I say philosophy is, let me put it in another way. So there are two ways of addressing a project. One is skin to soul, that means surface, services, space planning, and then structure, that is skin to soul, which is outer to inward. The other way of designing a project is inward to outward. So that is how the architect, one architect approached the design. So first the space planning, then the services, and then the aesthetic, and then the skin and the structure, everything like that. So the chronology of your process is, it's outer to inward or inward to outward, and why? That was I was asking. That was the thing I wanted to get out of you.
See, first, then outward to inward. I come from inward to outward.
Yes, that's what.
So first I visualize the building.
Yes, okay, that's what I want to hear.
First I visualize the end product.
Okay.
On the day one.
Oh, so from day one, you know the end product.
Yeah, they know, but from the day one, I know the end product. I stick to that.
Okay.
I try to achieve that thing without compromising the functionality of the building, the requirement of the client. So this is my basic thing.
Okay. So you do inward to outward.
Yes.
So when you work in a team, when you work in a team of consultant, what is your single goal? What is your single one-line message or instruction to your other collaborators, and why? And it is always the project first or the design first? What is your take on it?
It's both the design and the project.
But you can't achieve both all the time.
That is your expertise.
Okay, that's when the Pankaj comes in picture.
Yeah, that is your expertise. But
Okay.
I have already told you, your client shouldn't suffer. That means the client will not get suffered. When the service part of the building is okay.
Okay.
You will see a lot of good buildings with bad plumbings, with bad air conditioners. So that where you need to, the architect has to know at least not 100%, at least 50% of those service designs.
Of course.
So once you are confident about the service designs, because all the consultants who will be working with you, they looks on you.
Yeah, they look upon you, yeah, of
Huh.
course.
It's just you have to guide them, because you cannot let them work whatever they like.
Okay.
You have to give them a framework. You have to give them a guideline such that, and those guidelines should be practical. That means to be practical and precise, you have to have good knowledge about their services.
So we just, before we started this interview, talk about Itanagar project, where you felt that this project needs to belong to this place, and you change your entire process of design, and you brought in a lot of local art. So talk about that experience. Talk about that. Take us to that experience.
That is all on the facade of the building.
Okay.
So the interior space, that was a technical building. We could do much on the interior to accommodate this local cultural listing.
Okay.
But on the facade, we did all cladding works.
Okay.
We did some maskings
Okay.
that looks like a Arunachali building,
Okay.
and that have the elements of the architecture of Arunachal Pradesh,
Okay.
with those cornices and all these things,
Yeah.
those elements on the top of the roof,
Okay.
those slope roofs. That was a flat building.
Okay.
That was a flat roof building, but we camouflaged that building with some slope roofs.
Okay. Just to give that feel and flavor of
Just
the
to give that
region.
feel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you ever worked with a senior artist or a sculptor, and just for a project, collaborated with any senior visual artist?
See, my Dadaji.
Dadaji.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dadaji. His name was Padum Bargohain.
Okay.
He was an international artist.
Yesterday, even that lady, she also mentioned the name of a Guwahati senior artist. I think she mentioned your Dadaji.
He's no more.
I know she
He's
is no more.
He
She
was
told-
founder principal of Guwahati College of Art.
Oh.
He is the founder of Guwahati Artists Guild. So he was my Dadaji.
Okay.
So I took that opportunity to work some projects with him.
Arey wah, okay.
So I did some entrance gates
Okay.
where he did his sculptural works.
Sculptures.
So
Wow.
I did the structural part of that.
Okay.
That is how I was being. But that time I was very young.
You're still very young.
Thank you so much.
So you have worked in a collaboration with your Dadaji, who is a prominent artist and a very big figure when it comes to art of this region, and that means you already have a relationship with art,
Yes.
and you are a believer of relationship between art and architecture, and you believe in that marriage. So when we talk about art in a project, so when does the art come into your project? During the design, or at the end of the project, or you have identified few spaces कि यहाँ art होना चाहिए. There should be some art around this corner. When does this art part come into your process?
See, if the objectives of creating that building is cultural one, then definitely I take help of the artist right at the beginning,
Okay.
because he needs some surfaces. He has got his own vision,
Yes.
so I have to respect
Okay.
the vision of my artist, because he, unlike other co-consultants like SBSC, like plumbing consultants, I cannot treat my artist
Yes.
in that category,
Yes.
because I cannot direct them or guide them. In some cases, I have to take guidance from my artist.
Of course.
So I do have that respect, because that is in my blood actually.
Yeah, it's in your blood, and you've seen it at a very young
Yes.
age. And it is very rare, I must tell you. What you are saying, it's very rare, because we also work with a lot of architects, and they want the art to be their replicas of their own thought process, and not that artist expression. Anyway, so you have worked with senior artists, and you have worked very closely with other artists as well, and you said you give immense amount of freedom for them to express themselves.
Yes, yes.
And it is a very beautiful thing to hear, because we don't get to hear such thing very often. So I'm very glad that I'm interviewing you today. And as you work with senior artists, you already mentioned, have you worked with this young contemporary artist in maybe recent time?
I have done job with Mr. Rintu Khargaria.
Okay.
He's an artist.
Okay.
So I did some landscape projects
Okay.
where he did this cultural work of the boundary walls.
Okay.
So some artworks over there. So that is Santisthal. That is Samadhi Khitra of the first Chief Minister of Assam,
Okay.
Lokapirika Gopinath Bordele.
Okay.
After him, the name of our airport is
Yeah,
there.
your airport is on his name.
So I made his Samadhisthal.
Okay.
So over there, he worked with me.
Okay. Can you share about something which is, can you share about some artwork or an artist whose work has stayed with you for a long time, or which was maybe very moving experience or very engaging experience for you? Of course, your Dadaji's work, of course.
My Dadaji's work, while going to Upper Assam,
Okay.
the Kaziranga,
Okay.
there is a government resort over there where you can see a rhinoceros.
Okay.
It's a big rhinoceros over there. So that was made by my Dadaji.
Okay.
When we were kids,
Okay.
so my parents used to just stop the car and always just every time we had to control that
Yeah.
rhino.
Okay.
Always we enjoyed that from all sides of the rhino.
Okay.
So that was something that printed on my mind.
And remained with you still today.
Still today.
Wow. So I think because you have an emotional connect with that art, and because you have emotional connect with your Dadaji, of course it's going to be one of the most memorable moment as a child, when you're looking at rhino from all the sides.
Yes.
But what we have noticed in recent time that, like in Chicago, there is an art called the Cloud Gate. It's a huge sculpture by Anish Kapoor, which changed the way Chicago behaves. That's the power of art. That's the power of interactive sculpture. Do you see those kind of things, those kind of possibility in our country or in this region, where that's in public spaces we can see such kind, because you work with government closely. I'm asking you a question. You're the right person to answer this question because you are very close to system and working with system. Do you see those kind of possibilities in our country, in our region, in your region, where such kind of public art can take place?
See, believing art needs some emotions in you.
Okay.
And people in this part of the country, they are very emotional.
Okay.
Assamese people, you will find they are most emotional and impractical, I believe. They are impractical because they are emotional.
Okay.
So emotional people always loves art.
Okay.
So definitely this place has got ample opportunity
And potential.
to explore art,
Okay.
to bring art to the public space, to bring people from inside of the building to outside the
Building. Okay.
building. So to interact, definitely. See, we have auditoriums,
Okay.
but we have less amphitheaters.
Okay.
We need open space
Yes.
where you can interact, where these artists can play a vital role
Yes.
to bring the society closer. Because Assam, again, you see, this has got this is a combination of lot of tribes
Yes.
having different languages, different cultures. So if this is only an architect, not even the architect, only an artist can do.
Yes. So art binders, by the way.
Yes.
And I was listening to beautiful Assamese song today morning, and I said I don't understand the language, but it feels good. So it is like that. Art has its own language and can bind
Yes.
people. And you work with government so closely, and you see the potential of having such art installations and art presence in your state. That's a very good and very welcoming news, which we hear today. The other thing which I wanted to ask is, see, I know in architecture there are a lot of young aspiring architects come for the office training, and they look up to you. So what would be your advice to these young architects? Because what has happened is everybody wants, it's a very cliche thing to say, but everybody wants to be successful, and they want to be successful a little faster than what we used to. We used to have patience. Maybe they want to be more, they want to do it faster. There is the internet available to all. Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook and all these big practices and worldwide, it opens world to them. Information available at the tap of a finger. Your journey might have very different from what your son who's in the process of becoming architect, his journey would be. Of course, he's going to be a second generation practice, so he's have a lot of things ready for him. But still, he will have to find himself, his own calling.
He is third generation artist.
Yes.
I am an architect as well as I am an artist also.
Okay. So
because again, he also does a lot of painting works, artworks. He does some this exhibition also.
Okay, then he must.
So he is again he got that direct blood from my Dadaji.
Okay, so your interns who must be coming to your office, what will you tell them? What is your message to this young designer who looks up to you and wants to be like you? You know, successful and a prominent figure in field of architecture. What will you tell them?
They have to be practical first.
Okay.
They shouldn't run after social media. Number one suggestion. And they should go and explore it out. They should go and meet the local peoples. Whenever they get some assignments, rather than sitting back at the office and designing and creating something for us, what they should do it after office hours. They themselves should go to the site at their own, which we shouldn't know.
Okay.
Later on we should know.
Okay.
They should prepare sketches everywhere they go. They take datas and keep them at their archive. Definitely that will going to help them in the long run. Today, at the same time, if the same assignment we used to give to 2-3 architects of the same distinct, the person who does these practices, they will definitely come out of that box.
Okay.
So these additional exercises they should do at their own. This is my suggestion.
So work hard, go to site, do the drawings,
yes,
learn the drill.
Yes.
Okay. So this is your advice to young designer.
This is what I did.
Okay. And what will you tell the young designer of today?
Same thing.
Same thing.
Same thing.
So, like this is the drill you went through. I mean, you had gone through and you learnt your own. You found your own calling and your own path. But is there something which remained with you, who was your mentor or your sir, Mr. Chandrasekhar? Is there some element of his practice or his philosophy which remained with you and you took it to the next level? ऐसा कुछ है which you feel that, oh, I learned this from him? Anything you can point your finger to?
We didn't have any boss in my office, our office.
Okay.
The bossism was ruled out at our office, which I learned a lot.
Okay.
I put it inside. And today also, you will never find me in my cabin.
Yeah.
You will always, I have a table, separate table within my co-workers. When I use this term as staff. We are all co-workers. We work together.
Yeah, team. Yeah, you are a team.
Even I feel like dine with them.
Okay.
I don't take my lunch at my room. I always try to have my lunch with my
team.
Okay.
So,
if you see in my Facebook post also, this is always team PPA.
Okay.
Not Pankaj Phukan.
Okay. When you give them space to grow, when you give them space to be with you, at ease, they would also learn, and eventually I feel you also learn something from them, right? From young students, do you think you learned something from them?
A lot of things
because they are very techno savvy and the social media, and they're very sharp in certain things.
Yes.
Because I keep learning all this from my daughters, and they're like, okay, you can't be doing this on Instagram. I said, okay, I don't know how to do this. So I think that's what you must be experiencing, that change.
The main learning that I could get from them is this 3D modelings.
3D modelings, okay. Okay, the softwares. Okay.
And what I studied on them is that at their age, the expertise they have today, really those are admirable.
Is it?
We didn't have that expertise at that
that
is of
time.
us.
Okay. Maybe the time has changed. The exposure is at
Yes.
very
Yes.
different
Yes.
level. So you being such a senior architect, who's also working with a lot of government projects, very closely with government, and you also said that you see a lot of potential in creating artistic spaces and maybe open spaces. But when we talk about development, when we talk about the growth of the city, it grows from everywhere, and then it is sometimes very haphazard, sometimes very systematic. What would you like to see? Do you have any ideal situation where you think that growth should be like this, or development should be like this, we shouldn't do this, we should do this? We also talk about sustainability. We also have huge rains in Guwahati. What is your take on rainwater harvesting? What is your take on green building? What is your take on the development as far, if we sum it up as a new approach to development, what it would be for you?
My suggestion is to make the public amenities stronger.
Okay.
The communication should be good.
Okay.
It like, for example, you should have good street lights.
Okay.
At least you should have wider pathways.
Yes.
People, if you are driving comfortably or not, that should be your second priority. But you are walking comfortably or not, that should be the main priority.
Yes.
So
The amenities is the first. It comes first as a priority. Yes. Yeah, because it's important to create an experience of a city while you are walking.
Yes.
You can only experience a space if you are walking. You cannot experience space if you are going in a car.
Yes.
So you are as you rightly mentioned, the pathways are very important. You also mentioned that you work with a lot of young contemporary artists, and you have also worked with very senior artists. So today, if you are talking, if you are working with some young contemporary artist, what would you tell him? What you will seek in this artwork? What you would like to see in that artwork? And if you have to say something to them, what would you say?
India art, I think again this might vary from job to job, but as a generalized this thing, the artists, they prepare the real canvas of the city. So they, in a place like Assam, they should create those artistic things which bring the society closer.
Yes.
And make them emotionally attached, because we have lot of different languages, lot of different customs and traditions
in Assam.
So I think artist and architect, they both should work together, and just this should be a message to the common people that these artists and architects can be a strong social warrior.
Okay, social warrior.
Yes.
Okay. पंकज, the important part is, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि आर्किटेक्ट एंड आर्टिस्ट में जो एक फ़र्क है और एक सिमिलरिटी है. आर्किटेक्ट्स एंड आर्टिस्ट बोथ फॉल इन लव विद देयर वर्क. एक सिमिलरिटी ये है, और दूसरा सिमिलरिटी, दे आर वेरी वेरी stubborn when it comes to their work. Are you stubborn? Are you stubborn as a designer? Are you stubborn as a designer कि ये मैंने visualize किया, मुझे ऐसे करना है? Are you stubborn?
Not at all.
You are not at all stubborn.
I'm open.
Oh, you are open to change.
Yes, I'm open to all these, because I don't fix something. No doubt, as I've already told you, that when I go to some site, I visualize my end product. I keep the theme intact. I'm stubborn at my theme.
Okay.
But this forms, a lot of things, the facades and all these things, that I always go with the flow, with the requirement. Because see, normally these civil works, this architectural works, this takes at least 3, 4 years, 5 years time to get completed. Today, what I am thinking, if I'm going to fix something right on today, then after 5 years,
the project
at
has
the time
changed,
of getting delivery, then the whole concept might get changed. People might not accept that concept at that moment. So I think that's why we should try to create something timeless.
There is a space of that you always keep some space for change. One question which I forgot to ask, but I want to ask because you are in Guwahati, which is a very, very heavy rain region and also an earthquake prone zone, right?
Yeah.
Do you think as an architect, you have to have a different take when you are designing in Guwahati, and what is your approach when you are designing in Guwahati? And there is a lot of flood happened yesterday because of rain. So do you believe in sustainability? Do you believe in rainwater harvesting? And you think one should do it? Have you done any of this kind of implication in any of your projects?
Yeah, actually, see, this rainwater harvesting this has become a mandatory things these
Okay.
days. This is a mandatory things as per NBC guidelines also.
Hmm.
Next thing is that while designing and conceptualizing the architectural part of the building, we should normally try to give less overhang of the building.
Less?
Less overhang. That means the cantilevered part should be less.
Okay. Why is that?
Normally, see, in places like Delhi or Bombay, you can see my last pillar is that. Beyond that, you can have 10 feet, 12 feet, in some way you can 15 feet cantilever also.
Huh.
You can design that.
Huh.
But here, this is a challenge. You can always design that, but that will take huge cost.
Acha.
So, budget is another thing. And by doing that, what you are achieving, that is also important.
Because whenever you go to any architectural forum or wherever we are talking to any architects, the minimalistic, rainwater harvesting, sustainability, they are all green buildings, they are all very fancy concept. Is it viable for you to do such thing in a professional practice? Are your clients willing to do that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, clients willing to do that because the clients are now aware of all these things.
Okay.
Because even I believe in minimalistic designs.
Okay.
You will see most of my designs, they are composition of simple straight lines.
Okay.
No doubt, I do this volumetric analysis. Even if I'm giving a curve to the building, but that is very loose curve,
Okay.
such that the building gets more plain surface.
Mhm.
That make my artist work comfortable.
Okay.
If I go on to make too many curves, too many ups and downs, then how an artist or how an architect can do something over there rather than just painting it out or putting some cladding on. So you have to give some space to your partners.
That's a great noble thought. Thank you so much. You have been lucky to find your own expression in a field which is very professional and very demanding. And you could create a niche for Pankaj. And they said, oh, that's Pankaj design. And you were lucky that you are passionate about something, that's your profession. And you have some amazing journey which we have gone through. And I want to congratulate you for such an amazing journey. Of course, on your birthday, happy birthday to you one more time. And we would like to thank you for giving us time. And we are excited and we are very, very curious to see your forthcoming projects. And we'll keep close watch to your new coming project, and we'll come and say, where is the art in this project? And we'll find art, and we hopefully will find some amazing art in your project. So thank you so much for joining us today, and have a great day ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.